Hey guys, it's Paul Jing. Just gonna go over what states I would invest in land if I was gonna start over. This question assumes one of two things: that I know what I know now, and if I didn't know anything, what would I do? If if I know what I'm doing now, what I would do is I would focus in the states that I feel comfortable in, that I've already invested in. So that'd be New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and I'm getting into Tennessee, Virginia, and Alabama. So those would be the places that I would invest. I would just continue where I'm at this point with no inventory and whatnot with the partnerships that I have, right? I would choose the places that I live close to. I was in Texas for 5, 6 years, and then we recently moved to Virginia. So those would be the two predominant states that I would really focus in on. That's assuming that I know what I know now. But if I was going to, let's say you are in the beginning stages of your land investing, and you don't have partnerships yet, you're kind of running through how do you get a deal, like all these things. What I would do is I would do proof of concept. And what I mean by that is there's this book, I can't remember the title of it, but it's basically about a book about a successful gambler. And the way she kind of describes her strategy is to make little bets. And what you want to do is you want to make little bets, little risk in terms of your capital, and just figure out other people's positions and win a bigger pot when the time is right. So the way I think about probabilities and risk, and should I do this course or this business opportunity or this other option or this job or whatever options that you have, it's better to have a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances, a lot of where you could put small bets in and see where you get your return, right? Where is it like, oh, this seems to be a place that I'm getting a good response, I'm getting a good hit, like I'm getting deals here, et cetera, right? So the states that I would focus in, if I needed proof of concept, like I needed to believe in this business model, I needed to check if land investing is legit, I'd focus on cheaper states. And generally, you'll find that in the southwest region of the United States, including Florida, on the southeast. So that would be the outskirts of California, Nevada, Arizona, Nevada. I don't know if I said that, Colorado. I'd look at Texas a little bit. I feel like people that are in Texas just only do Texas, but yeah, somewhere within that region, New Mexico, if I didn't say New Mexico, and Florida, they're like in those states, you can pick up property for $100, like $500. And so what you want to do is if you need a proof of concept, get a smaller lot and try flipping it for a higher amount. So you pick up something for $200, $300 and try selling it for $1,000. And you'll be like, oh, wow, like you can do that. Right? And then when you realize that, then you could work on some of the bigger lots. That's kind of how I started. I started off with buying these $100 lots in New Mexico and then selling them for $1,000. And I did that a couple times and I realized, oh shoot, let me buy some of the 200 lots, the $300 lots, $500 lots. Now, let me try buying a $1,000 lot and flipping it for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, right? And you can kind of slowly build your way up. Now, that method is good for proof of concept. If you have a job, like a W-2 job, and you're kind of doing these small bets to start building up your land investing, like confidence and skill, strategy, a lot of, just figuring things out as you go a little bit, right? If you're not going to do coaching, if you're not going to really invest in courses or anything like that, it's a really good way to get going. So if I needed, proof of concept, that kind of stuff, I would start within those states because you could find cheaper lots and minimize your risk, right? Like you know, if you're not like great in due diligence, but you pick up something for $200, like how much are you really losing, right? Like not much in the grand scheme of things, right? But well, when you work with these bigger lots, you could bring in partners and you could construct these bigger deals that give you a bigger, profit margins, right? Like if I got if I got like $100 deal, or let's say $500, if I got a $500 deal and I sold it for $2,000, that's great. I made $1,500. That's a big, in terms of profit margin, it's pretty big. But if you could do the same thing and get something for $10,000 and flip it for $20,000, $25,000, you're talking about $10,000, $15,000, even with marketing expenses. That's a bigger profit margin that you could bring in partners for than it is for, like $1,000 property that, you split $500 later, right, with someone. Like the margins aren't there for you to bring in partners and other things that you could do with these bigger lots. So what I would say is, like, if you're not ready to go into coaching, into, spending all this money on courses and like really putting money in for marketing, like all these things, I'd say stick with these, cheaper states, get proof of concept, and then you slowly build your way through that by buying bigger lots right within that area, or just kind of jump into the states that you're living in and get into some of the bigger lots right from the get-go. And so those are some of the decisions that you would have to make. At this point, for me, we're going more into bigger lots, right? So, for the same amount of work, I want to spend it on a deal that could get me $10,000, $20,000 than I would, $1,000 or $2,000. So, you're always kind of weighing things out, and you're deciding what's going to be best for you. I would say some of the smaller lots, you can get a quicker deal, but if the numbers are right on a bigger deal and the market's good, you could do well there as well. So you'll see in the land investing world, there's a huge range of people buying these small lots and doing very well with them. Usually with these smaller lots, you'll see a lot of owner financing and people rolling over their money. And some of the bigger lots, you'll see more of just these cash or selling it with a mortgage and getting their cash on the back end. So that's it. Some things to consider with what states you might want to invest in. I do have a course. If you want to get it, check it out in the description below. No obligation. If you like this video, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Have a good one.